Hello, welcome to the NMSU Library Archives and Special Collections. I'd like to share with you an exciting find within our collections, and to be honest, it's a little bit of a hairy situation to discuss, but one of the many unique items that you can discover in our archives is locks of hair. This framed photo contains the braid of Clara Alvarez, who died in 1913 at the age of 15. As you can see, she's only a toddler in this photo. Back then, popular photography was not the thing that it is today, and so this may have been the only photo her family had of her. You can imagine how very important it was to preserve this lasting memory of her. Clipping the hair of the deceased was a very popular tradition and still is today in many families. Those left behind to mourn have different reasons for clipping and preserving the locks. It all depended on culture, family grief rituals, and fashion. Yeah, I said fashion. Believe it or not, during the Victorian age, it was quite popular for women to wear jewelry made from the hair of the deceased. This is a trend that started in 1861 when Queen Victoria lost both her mother and her beloved Prince Albert, and she began to wear a locket encasing the hair of the prince. In America, the tradition of cutting locks of hair gained popularity during the Civil War when, before going off to war, soldiers would cut their hair and leave it for their wives, and their wives in turn would cut their own hair and fashion a fob for his pocket watch or perhaps a bracelet. Young girls during this era also cut and exchanged locks of hair when they knew they'd be separated by distance. It was a way to remember each other. A lock of hair doesn't decompose like other parts of the body do, and so hair became a symbol of eternal life and endless love. Speaking of endless love,
these heartbreaking mementos are from Clotilde Amador Terrazas and are found in the Amador family papers. Clotilde had trouble carrying her infants to full term, or if they did survive the birthing process, they died in their infancy. Over 100 years ago, she preserved these locks of hair in small envelopes, noting the date and name of each infant. Clipping the downy soft hair was the perfect sentimental way for her to remain close to her lost infants.
while grief rituals have changed, our grief itself has not. Many of us have experienced loss and grief during the pandemic. To help prevent the spread of the virus, the research room had to remain closed to visitors from outside the NMSU campus. Now, with some added precautions and an appointment, we'd like to welcome you back to the NMSU archives. Maybe not to exchange locks of hair, but perhaps we can exchange stories of how we survived the pandemic. Welcome back, and bienvenidos a nuevo.